Yo, 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 what is up? It is me, Lucifer2B666, and I want to talk about my EDC. Now, an EDC is everyday carry, if you didn't know that, but I see constantly YouTubers make EDC videos, and they really don't take into account all the numerous situations where a certain EDC might work and a certain EDC might not work. So, I'm just going to give my basic rundown of my EDC and the different situations I bring certain items in. So let's start from the left, over there. That is my phone. I don't always carry it, but if I'm in an environment where I may need it, like where I'm not home, I will bring my phone. If I'm going for a walk around my neighborhood, though, I do not bring my phone with just because, um, I'm like right by my house. I can run home. I have been in a situation where it started downpouring and I called my parents and they picked me up, but, it just kind of weighs me down. Really, it's kind of heavy. I mean, not to hold in your hand, but I mean in your pockets. It's just not really worth it and it takes up too much space. So I'd rather take my chances and run home if, something were to happen. So that's just me. The second item, hand sanitizer. I'm not really thinking about this on the standpoint of fire because I don't know. I just don't think that's really it's not really that hot of a flame. You can set yourself on fire with hand sanitizer and it will not hurt you. Except it depends on how much water is in it. So don't try that because you will hurt yourself most likely. But if there's like no water in it, if it's 99%, alcohol, then you're not going to hurt yourself. So it really doesn't start a hot fire, and I just think that's a little stupid. But with germs, you need to protect yourself from germs. With the recent Ebola outbreak, it is a good thing to carry on you. I don't carry it on me when I'm, out of the house really, but when I'm in school, I definitely carry this. Then my keys. I need to actually show you guys my keys because they're kind of special. It has this little thing that says my name on it with the bear on it, whatever, okay. So I have two flashlights. This one's a crank one. Maybe I can pop it out for you guys to see. See the cranking, crank it. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm not going to waste that because eventually it does stop working when you crank it a lot. And then I have a second flashlight. And then I have the key to my house. And then I have a keyblade right here. Okay, you may need that for some situation. I don't know, maybe for defense or something. So then we go over to here, my knife. I carry my knife almost everywhere I can, literally everywhere I can. The only places I don't is where I could be legally in trouble. I could get it taken away from me, or be kicked out of a place I want to go in, such as a museum or a concert or, places where they restrict it, but you're not legally in trouble if you do get caught with it. They just kick you out of that place. So, yeah. So that's the rule with that. Also, I don't carry it to friends' houses. That's just a personal choice of mine because, if I'm in somebody's house, they have plenty of things to survive on. Even if they weren't ready for anything, trust me, I'm sure they have a kitchen knife. I'm sure they have, you know what I mean? So there's many items you can find in friends' houses. Family members I do, though, because they're kind of far away. It's not within walking distance. If they're about a half an hour to an hour away, driving wise. So that would be like a day walking wise, and I don't even know how I would walk home. I don't know the complete directions. Maybe driving I could do it, but walking I definitely could not. So, yeah. So a knife, that's why I bring it to family members' houses because they are pretty far away. The next thing. This is a mouse trap. I would rather have a rat trap, but it's kind of hard to conceal it. I carry this with me pretty much when I go to family members' houses, I put it in my bag of like electronics I bring with me. Um, just because, maybe on the drive there or back, um, possibly, our car can crash and we'll be stuck in the middle of nowhere. You know, People are kind of mean and they won't probably lend you food or money, so it's better to live off of some, mice in the middle of a field than to, starve to death out in the middle of a street. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I carry it, like I said, with me when I'm going to a family member's house or if I go to the woods because you never know. Maybe, let's say, our car is broken down or, maybe somebody steals, my parents' car or in some situation like that. You never know. Um, it definitely will not bring you enough food for everyone, so we would have to probably, as a group, decide on who would get the food. It would most likely be the youngest person, which would be my little brother, um, or me, depending on the situation who's there. But um, yeah, so that's that. It's just one source of food, probably not the only one, as you'll see later, but yeah. Then matches. That is very important. You need fire almost in any survival situation, so that's why I carry matches on me. I carry it when I go for walks. I try to carry it almost everywhere, but I don't really go too crazy carrying this. Just because, in certain situations you don't really need matches. If I'm walking around my house, I'm not going to need matches. Well, my knife I might need for self-defense, for example. So, you know, I kind sorry, I kind of weigh it in my head whether I need it or not, but matches I don't really need most of the time unless I'm leaving the house. So, and going, pretty far where I might need it. So, yeah, and then the last item, which I don't carry almost anywhere, and it's a new addition. Sorry about the squeaking, but squeaking, that's new. I say weird words sometimes. Sorry, I'm backing up. So this is my slingshot. If you can't really tell, maybe you can't because it has one of these. Wait, I'll undo it for you. It has a little arm thing, which in some states I know is illegal, sorry, but in my state it's actually legal, surprisingly. So there, my slingshot. I don't bring this really anywhere, because it's a new addition, like I said, to my EDC. It's kind of big, hard to conceal, so like I said, I don't really bring this anywhere unless it's in my bag. But if I go, maybe if I were to go on a camping trip, or if, I don't know, I could see a lot of situations where I would need this, and I do bring it to family members' houses now, with my big bag of electronics and EDC items, but, yeah, so this I kind of see is very useful, but hard to bring with you, due to the fact that it's so big, and in some situations it is illegal. But if we're talking about, life or death, let's say, I'm on a camping trip and, you know, boom, our car breaks down and, you know, I have to go hunting for food because we can't go to the store. And let's say there's no other campers in sight, and, you know, it's highly unlikely, but you never know when you might need it. And I'm sorry, if my life is at stake, I'm definitely breaking the law in order to survive. um, you know, a lot of people won't say that out loud, but, you know, if it's life or death, you know, you choose. Would you rather die being a law-abiding citizen, or would you rather live breaking the law and face the consequences later for your actions? I don't know. So that's that. So that's my EDC as a whole. Let me back up for a second. Maybe I can... Oh, I should have done that earlier. So that's my slingshot. That's everything. There it is. So there's my EDC. Sorry that it's like, you know, whenever I move this, it makes that weird sound. But that's my EDC. I don't carry all these items at once. I carry them in separate circumstances, like I said earlier in this video. So, yeah. And also, the last thing I need to add to this EDC is your brain. Forget about all these items on this list. Your brain is the #1 EDC you carry around with you. If you know what you're doing, you can survive in any situation. So, now I have to do a ton of homework, so I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Peace.